3 lighthouse keepers vanish from an isolated Atlantic rock without a trace, leaving behind a locked door, stopped clocks, and damage 110 feet above sea level that defied physical explanation. The year is 1900. On the desolate rock of Eilean Mòr in Scotland's Outer Hebrides, a brand new 75-foot lighthouse stood as a lonely beacon against the North Atlantic. Stationed there were 3 veteran keepers, James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur. Their duty was simple: keep the lamp lit, log the weather, and maintain order in total isolation. On December 15th, the steamer Arctur logged that the Great Light on Eilean Mòr was dark. Severe winter storms prevented relief ships from reaching the island for 11 days. When the supply vessel Hesperus finally docked on Boxing Day, relief keeper Joseph Moore stepped ashore into a dead, silent mystery. When Joseph unlocked the heavy entrance door, he stepped into an eerie stillness. The kitchen clock had stopped. The beds were unmade. In the kitchen, a meal set untouched on the table next to an overturned chair. And even stranger, 2 sets of heavy oilskin coats and boots were missing, but a 3rd set remained hanging on its hook, meaning that one of the men had rushed out into a blinding storm without his cold weather gear, breaking strict protocol. The primary lamp was cleaned and refilled with oil, ready to be lit. But no trace of the 3 men could be found anywhere on the island. A sweep of the perimeter revealed disturbing clues. Down at the west landing, massive iron railings were twisted out of shape. Concrete was torn up, and a heavy supply crate bolted 110 feet above sea level had been ripped from the rock face. The next year, the Northern Lighthouse Board enforces strict mandatory multi-keeper safety rules across all isolated maritime outposts. 10 years later, sensationalized ballads and newspaper accounts transform an industrial maritime disaster into a legendary ghost story of sea monsters and phantom ships. Every decade, naval safety boards and search and rescue agencies study rogue wave phenomena to redefine coastal infrastructure survival limits along high-risk shipping corridors. Official Superintendent Robert Muirhead was dispatched to investigate the disappearance. Examining the wreckage at West Landing, Muirhead calculated the sheer force required to tear a metal box from a cliff 110 feet in the air. He concluded that an unprecedented rogue wave, a freak swell towering over 10 stories high, had slammed into the landing stage. According to Muirhead's theory, 2 keepers were down at the landing trying to secure equipment during a sudden surge. When a monster wave threatened to sweep them away, the 3rd keeper inside saw the danger, abandoned his coat in a panic, and rushed down to save them, only for a second massive wave to crash up the cliff and drag all 3 men into the freezing ocean. Yet without a single body ever washing ashore, the line between a tragic rogue wave accident and an unexplained anomaly remains permanently blurred. But what if physical evidence on the island proved the keepers never reached the water at all? What if search teams had found the island's single landing boat missing, or signs of a deliberate confrontation inside the tower? If official investigators had confirmed foul play or a planned escape, the Flannan Isles incident wouldn't be remembered as a classic maritime enigma or a study in extreme ocean weather. Instead, it would have fundamentally changed how remote solitary outposts were staffed, triggering mandatory armed guard protocol and strict psychological vetting for isolated workers across the globe. And what about you? Do you believe a 10-story rogue wave swept all 3 keepers off the cliff? Or was something far stranger at play on Eilean Mòr? Share it in the comments below. And if you would like to explore more of these ripples in history and in life, please hit subscribe and join me on the Ripple Trace.